आ जाइए।
Sit. Thank you.
Introduce yourself.
Respected panel, my name is Daniel Rasool and I am currently working as Assistant Handicrafts Training Officer in the Department of Handicrafts. I have been brought up in Srinagar and have been schooled here and have been working in the said department from 2017 onwards.
You have done masters in sociology as well.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So don't you think that shifting from one job to another, it's the wastage of state exchequer?
Sir,
Because
actually,
government has already appointed you on some post.
Sir, actually, it is just about your ambitions, about you yourself going. If you leave a particular department, so surely today or tomorrow there will be a recruitment, and the said post will be filled by another capable person. But at the same time, you have to look at it from the perspective of self-improvement and climbing up the hierarchy, so you can get to a better position where from you can help a greater number of people in a better way, perhaps, given the rank that you are entrusted with.
Okay. How you are being as AHTO, Assistant Handicrafts Training Officer, it will help in this cooperative department.
Sir, actually, working in the handicraft department, we have a wing called the Induscos, that is the industrial cooperatives, and I have been personally involved in the development of cooperative societies. I have been working in district Badgam, and I have been personally involved in development of cooperatives on a block level. So I guess that experience will help in my working as an assistant registrar of the cooperative department as such.
Do you see any loopholes so far as your own handicrafts department in district level is concerned? Any changes you want to see there?
Sir, as in what? In management or what? What kind of
general?
loopholes? Sir, first of all, there is this incentive that we have been providing
Artisan credit.
to the artisans, the artisan credit scheme. The Given the inflation and other parameters, the sum amount that is being provided to the artisan seems paltry at present. Although last year there has been a significant improvement by 100%. It used to be 1 lakh, now it is about 2 lakh with margin money of 20,000. Now it is 1 lakh 80,000 that actually goes to the artisan. But per se, from what I have gathered, the inputs from the artisan community themselves, they say that this sum would not help them to grow in a particular sense. It is just a paltry sum of money
Okay.
so far as the market is concerned.
How do you rate performance of cooperative sector in J&K?
So cooperative sector is definitely
Out of 10, how many marks? If you are given this choice, out of 10, how many marks would you give to cooperative department, cooperative sector?
Sir, I would say there are certain things that you need to improve upon, like your approach to people. Many people are not even aware of the department's existence, let alone the schemes and all the stuff that is there. So there needs to be a public broadcast kind of an advertisement kind of a stuff.
What
that
are the
needs to be
functions of
done.
assistant registrar?
Sir, I'm not particularly sure about it, but the assistant registrar does help in the formation of cooperatives at a block level, and also helps in the registration, etc. of the same. Also, perhaps he also helps with the elections, governing, overseeing the elections of the cooperatives that are in the block.
Okay. सर अब आप कहिए.
खैर आप आजान पाले सुनिए बाद में क्या. What is the procedure for registration of society?
Society, first of all, what you need is members. पहले आपको at least 10 members चाहिए है for a cooperative society to form. Then उनकी जो registration होती है, it is on the basis of they have to have a shared capital in the cooperative. So they are asked to submit a some share money towards the formation of the society, and then they get registered with the cooperative department, or maybe with the
What are the bottlenecks that one faces in registration?
so particularly in registration. First of all, I would again say that the first bottleneck is awareness. Many people are not aware that how to register themselves, etc. So, and on the village level or on a smaller level, when we see, they are not willing to participate because they do not see the benefits per se. They think it's a waste of time. So these are the primary bottlenecks that one faces while going into the field. When the people are concerned, the people are not motivated enough. They do not want, basically, in today's era, this is an era of entrepreneurship, and corporate world allures people. So they do not usually want to get involved in the cooperative movement as such. So that could be one of the things that keeps people from registering.
Are the members supposed to get police verification?
Sir, I am not sure about it. Perhaps there is no such consideration. So far as we have registered the cooperatives, there was no such requirement of police verification.
What is the role of NABARD?
So NABARD is basically, it helps in the agriculture and allied activities and the general rural development. It includes departments, the sectors like agriculture and handicrafts, the small scale industries, cottage industries, fisheries, etc. So it basically acts as a bank towards these facilities, and also oversees.
Who funded this society? Cooperative banks.
सर फंडिंग
Cooperative बैंकों की फंडिंग कौन कर रहा है?
सर एक तो उनका टाई अप होता है आरबीआई के साथ भी होता है, सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट की स्कीम्स आती है, दे आर आल्सो इम्प्लीमेंटेड, एंड आल्सो नाबार्ड इटसेल्फ हैज अ एक्सचेकर दैट दे पुट इनटू.
Daniel, you are a BTech in agricultural engineering.
Yes.
So can you tell me what do you know about soil DNA testing?
Soil DNA?
Yes.
No, sir, not as such. We have basically dealt with the engineering aspects of things, not particularly with the soil testing, etc.
You're also, I guess, masters in sociology, right?
Yes.
What could be the possible impact of metaverse or the social media per se on Indian society?
So metaverse is a new concept. Basically, it makes you feel like you are in the same place. It's a kind of a, we used to, if we look at the sci-fi version of it.
What are the impacts on Indian society?
Sir, it will help. Say, recently it came up in the news that metaverse is kind of helping people to establish connections with the dead also by virtue of this social media, etc. So it has a different significance on the Indian society per se, because when you look at it from the angle of the Indian culture and tradition, so there has been this belief that there is an afterlife kind of a thing. So it kind of helps in satisfying that quotient of the
You
Indian
mentioned
society.
carpet technology. Can you tell me which country is the largest consumer of Kashmiri carpets?
Consumer?
Yeah.
I would say it is the United States, followed by Canada, and also some of it goes to Germany as well.
Okay.
The United States is the
Regarding
primary
Germany,
consumer.
recently the director of Department of Handicrafts and Handloom had a meeting with the Consulate General of India, Germany. So could you shed some light on the meeting and the things they discussed?
So basically the meeting was about this, how to improve the ties between the handicraft sector here and the the market over there, so that the product can go directly from the artisan to the markets, the European markets, through Germany, and then to Hungary,
what is
etc.
geographical indication?
So geographical indication is basically it's a tag that is given to a particular thing that is produced specifically in a given geographical
What are the
area.
various GI certified products in Kashmir?
Sir, carpet is one of them. Pashmina has been granted
Yes.
the GI status recently, as well as there is a call for GI status for the walnut wood that we have here. So it has not been finalized yet, but it is in process. They are asking for it.
Saffron has not been.
Saffron as well.
Saffron also has, sir, the GI tag.
Yeah. Daniel, you are from the Safa Kadal,
Yes, ma'am.
downtown area.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you agree with me that downtown is losing its sheen,
Ma'am,
its glory?
Ma'am, as in the architecture, etc., there are certain things that are changing. People, the older architecture is getting, it is dilapidated. The homes, the older architecture, particularly in the residential areas, it is being changed because of the renewed needs of the society. So yes, in certain aspects, it is losing its sheen, but at the same time, when we see the historical monuments like the Jama Masjid or the Hari Parbat Fort is there, or things like that, those, they are still a remnant of the our glorious past, or even the Shahri Khas market like the Bahari Kadal area, etc. That is being in a way conserved as it is. But yeah, there are certain changes with the contemporary changes in the with the time. Things are changing a bit, but we cannot say that it is completely losing its sheen. But yeah, there are certain things that are getting removed with time.
Can you name the 3 measures that we can do to revamp its glory?
Ma'am, basically, first thing is, again, I would focus back on the awareness thing, and the getting the connect between the people and their heritage, because people here, given the situation that we are in, people do not feel that connect to the past in due to the current situation. They are over busy with providing for themselves, thinking about their livelihood and how to survive and all that. So they do not have the time to think about those revivals. Also, we can first of all, we need that awareness here. Then second of all, we what we need to do is that we need to amalgamate the old architecture into the new design strategy of ours, so that the new for example, the new buildings that the government is building, or maybe the, like, we have this old zero bridge that has been revamped. That is a good indication of how to do things in this aspect.
Okay. Why there's a shift in migration from downtown to uptown areas? Where people migrating?
Ma'am, basically, even I myself, being from downtown area, I can clearly see why it is happening. It's because the families are growing and they are outgrowing the houses that they are living in. So people have literally no choice but to leave the downtown and go to other places to live. Some have even what we call uptown. Some people have even shifted to the villages per se, because of the rising costs of the land and all. So they have shifted to villages also. So that is the primary reason of why they are leaving, because of the lack of space in the downtown area.
Okay. You mentioned that you have worked in one of the block, Nabal.
Yes, ma'am.
So, can you name the AR concerned of Nabal block?
No, ma'am, I am not aware of
Have
it.
you visited his office?
No, ma'am,
Nothing.
not.
And you mentioned about the sheer capital.
Ma'am, we have our own,
Okay.
as I said, we have basically about our own
No, with
wing.
respect to this post. I'm
Our-
not saying with respect to the your job profile. With respect to this post.
No, ma'am, I
Since
have
you have
not
applied, so you
visited.
must have knowledge. Okay. You mentioned about the sheer capital.
Yes, ma'am.
How much sheer capital they have to deposit?
Ma'am, it is about 10%, I think.
10%?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you sure?
No, ma'am, I'm not sure.
Then?
But it is perhaps 10% of the total.
It's 1% of share capital.
Ma'am, I am saying the collectively the 10 people would have to share the
1% for
Only
whole
1%.
society. Yeah. And it's not 10 members. It's 11. Actually, in 99 Act, there's nowhere written how many members they have to take. But arbitrarily, department have considered this figure of taking 11 members in a society. But under 1989, we have 50 members fixed, and that is written in the Act. Since you have worked in handicrafts, so how can we merge the handicrafts and cooperatives?
Ma'am, basically, if we talk about the Dilip Schulz theory, how he went about with the unification, if we can call it, or amalgamation of the handicrafts. He worked with the handicraft sector there in Germany back then, and he started it off, and he's basically known as the father of urban cooperatives. So what he suggested is simple. He was there in the urban sector while Rafesen was working in the rural sector, and they both had the goal of self what do you call it, self the cooperation, the self reliability, and self sufficiency, and self governance, basically. So when we come together, these three things, when we collaborate in these three fields, that can happen in any of these sectors that we are talking about, be it agriculture, be it small scale handicrafts, any cottage industry, or even fisheries, etc. So in that sense, when we talk about the handicraft sector, it is clearly, there is a demand, there is a lot of indulgement of the middlemen in handicraft sector. So that can be easily overcome with, if 10 people, 12 people come together, they can form a strong body, which can, so some of those people can also act as marketeers, some will act as producers. So in that sense, it has a direct correlation with the cooperative society system.
Okay. Do you think that by forming Ministry of Cooperation is an infringement upon the federal structure of the state cooperatives?
Ma'am, in a sense, when we talk about the Ministry of Cooperation, it will help, definitely help in the growing of the cooperatives at a larger scale. It obviously, the states have their own rights about it. Even the 97th Amendment was struck down to a great extent by the Supreme Court of India, suggesting that it has not been ratified by the states per se. So that will still be there. We have the legislature, we have the judiciary, which can play a part if required. So the development of Ministry of Cooperation is, in fact, I would say, a positive step in the direction of helping the cooperatives get better and sustain for a longer period of time, given the current situation wherein entrepreneurship and self-sufficiency in a different way, individual level, is considered better than being in a cooperative society.
Can you briefly elucidate the success story of Indian Coffee House?
The Indian Coffee House was basically, it has a very intriguing story to it, that since the Britishers did not allow the Indians to enter their coffee houses, so it was developed as a model to, help the Indians have that same platform, those same kind of things. So it was started in, I guess, in Bombay in 1930 something, and since then it developed very rapidly. I guess in under 4 years it had about 30 stores, these coffee houses in the different parts of Western India, and since then it has also developed further.
Since Kashmir is having this cafe culture, so can we just give this concept of, can we just introduce this concept of coffee house in cooperatives in your blog novel which you are working right now?
Well, basically, what is lacking here is that since Indian Coffee House is a workers' cooperative, so I do not see many people here, even though we have this cafe culture in the Srinagar area. But when we talk about the village level, or in a broader Kashmiri perspective, coffee is not much of a savor drink, or people do not participate like that in coffee events and all that stuff. So I do not see it getting the
So,
same kind of
what
attention
are the
that it
other
gets in
sectors?
Bombay or in a metropolitan area.
Okay, what are the other sectors in blog novel wherein you can outshine in the cooperatives department?
Ma'am, I would say there is this veterinary department, sheep husbandry department, that is working very well in the department, in the Narwal area, and it has a good scope of improvement there. The handlooms, particularly the Kani shawls, they are doing very well. In fact, since now we have merged with the handloom department, we have developed a CFC, Common Facilitation Center, at Kanihama, which is the the birthplace of Kani shawls. So that sector also, the handloom sector, has a good chance at developing using these cooperatives.
Okay.
And also I see some fisheries development in the same belt, the Kausa belt. It has a potential for development of fisheries along the rivers, that there are those small rivulets, etc. There is some work on it by the fisheries department as well.
Any idea about the cooperative society right now in blog novel?
Ma'am, as such, I do not know about many cooperative societies in Block Narwal per se, but there were many which we have found, but they are under consideration right now. They have not been finalized yet.
So many cooperative societies were there, but with the passage of time, they have become defunct. Now, if given a chance, if you are selected tomorrow, so what will be your measures to revive those defunct societies?
First of all, the problem is that people do not want to acknowledge it and
How
participate
will
in
you
it.
motivate them?
So they need to be motivated, they need to be shown how it will be beneficial to them. Maybe take them to a tour of some place, like say for example show them Amul or some other such cooperative which has successfully built over time. So they can be told, even for example, even in our state there is a cooperative society called Jkpsc, which is catering to certain things like LPG etc. right now. So they can be told that it is not necessary that you will be limited to the block level. You can go tomorrow and outshine the current cooperative societies if you take the necessary measures. So maybe that will help them in improving it, the chances of sustainability in the cooperative sector.
Okay, fine.
चलिए दानियल साहब, बहुत अच्छा परफॉर्मेंस आपका, कीप इट अप. ठीक है
Sir, actually I was ill from the past 10 days due to COVID, so I could not basically prepare.
कब है आपका इंटरव्यू?
सर मेरा 17th को है
अभी है, दैट मींस 17 days to go, isn't it? अगर एक भी दिन होता ना आपके पास, तब भी आपने उसी ना पैशन से जाना है जो आप इतने 17 days में जो आप ये पढ़ोगे.
सर.
ठीक
any
है,
areas ma'am, any areas where I can
आप साइट्स विजिट करें, जो आपका नारवल का ऑफिस है वहाँ पर्सनली विजिट करें, उनको
Yes,
बताइए
ma'am.
सोसाइटीज के बारे में, रजिस्ट्रेशन के बारे में, FPOs के बारे में पढ़े, मेंबरशिप कितनी है वो पढ़े, पूरा वो होमवर्क करके आए, वहाँ ऑफिस विजिट कीजिएगा एक बार.
ठीक है
यू कैन मीट, यू कैन विजिट माय ऑफिस एज वेल.
मैम. आपका
हाँ,
ऑफिस
हाँ,
कहाँ पे?
नियर DC ऑफिस बड़गांव,
ठीक.
एडजेसेंट टू DC ऑफिस बड़गांव.
और जो जैकफिट का बता रहे थे, आई बिलीव दैट हैज बीन वाउंड अप.
वो तो हो
ये
गया
है ना, हाँ, वो
Custard.
सक्सेस स्टोरी में कोट नहीं करना. जैकफिट आप बता रहे थे ना, उनको हम ले जाएंगे वहाँ पे, देखिए सक्सेस स्टोरी, वो सक्सेस
मैं
स्टोरी.
कह रहा था मतलब कि
ये
हाँ, लेकिन
employees
ऐसी
have
एग्जांपल
been-
ऐसी कोट करो जो कि प्रैक्टिकल अभी हो,
Exactly.
दिखाने लायक हो, ठीक है, वो वहाँ पे मेंशन कर सकते हैं अपने आंसर में. ठीक है,
Their employees have been absorbed in the cooperative department.
और जिस लैंग्वेज में सवाल होगा उसी लैंग्वेज में जवाब देना है.
अच्छी परफॉर्मेंस, ब्रिलियंट,
बाकी बहुत अच्छा था.
बहुत अच्छा.
Thank you.
इससे आपसे पहले जो एक और आए थे, और आप बहुत ही जबरदस्त.
आप अपना ईमेल भी शेयर कीजिएगा. आई विल मोस्ट प्रोबेबली सेंड यू दिस प्रेजेंटेशन रिगार्ड टू डिस्ट्रिक्ट
Ma'am,
बडगाम.
if you would write
हाँ
it
हाँ,
down.
no issues. You can write it on a paper. I'll share it. ऑफिशियल मेल से मोस्ट लाइकली मंडे को आपको
सीधा
ये
ही
शेयर करूंगी. मे बी इट विल हेल्प.